Hi guys, welcome back to the 1936 bungalow renovation. I have lots of cool things to show you this week. We are about 2 to 3 weeks away from finishing. My carpenter only has a couple of days left. He's done most of the skirting, apart from this room and one other. He's fitted all the internal doors, he's done all of the window sills. My plumber's only a couple of days from finishing. He doesn't have much left at all. We've got the edging blocks in the drive, which is really cool for you to see. As before, it just looked like it was going to be a huge car park, but we've actually done it. So there's 3 flower bed zones as well to break it up a bit, and there's still plenty of room for at least 3 cars out there. The patio is a bit more visible because the cover's off, so I can show you the scope and the size of that. And I've also got a couple of cool gadgets to show you. One's called the EZ Colour Reader, which is a paint matching device, which I'll show you when we get into the main bathroom. And then the other one's an app called LoveJunk. So these 2 apps are things I've used in the last week, and LoveJunk is particularly cool just for clearing your rubbish. But I'll explain that as I go around on the tour. We'll start in this room, although actually this room has probably changed the least in the last week or so, although I've started, the painters have asked me to button up all of my lights and sockets where I can, so they can see if they need to fill in around any edges. We've gone for these grey pendants over the kitchen island. Shame it's all covered up, but the kitchen island there. We've gone for the grey, the dark grey there to match these end panels in dark grey, which is this tongue and groove style that we're going for. And eventually that'll be across there as well to create the breakfast bar zone. And then the other side as well, where I have a socket, but that end panel needs to go on there as well. I've got 2 pendants over here as well. I've put them deliberately high at the moment. They need to be lowered, but I visualize this as the dining room zone. So I visualize the dining room table, center of this window here, which is why I put those lights here. And I just went for a different glass style. As you can see, they're very dirty and not level. So I just need to play around with those at a later stage. Other than that, I've just been screwing up sockets and things in here. So you can see in the utility room now, the chrome sockets are all starting to go on, and all my under counter lights on. So it's a nice bright space, and looks even nicer with the sockets on and the under counter lights on as well. I'll go to the patio now because it's getting dark. And last time it was mostly covered up, but you can see as soon as you walk out the door the size of it, and it's awesome. If I step right back here, you can see the size of patio and still how much garden there is. So we'll be turfing all of this, which is literally the last job we'll be doing. And this is still about 80 foot from that back fence to the house, so still a really nice sized garden. And we're taking the patio all the way down the sides, both sides, and all the way here, so you've got plenty of room for garden furniture and your barbecue and whatever you want out here. And eventually it'll go all the way down there to the front. Renderers are here tomorrow. They'll be finishing the first coat by Tuesday next week. You can see they prepared it all, but they've just got to do the hard work. They were going to do it today, but it was just too wet. And they'll be finishing the rendering the week after that. So in about 2 weeks, the whole house will be rendered, which is so nice because I've looked at it for months and months and months in an absolute state. Right, let's show you some important details. So the doors are all in. In my final video, when I do my final walk around, I'll go through where I bought everything and for how much, but my carpenter's been busy, especially in the old part of the house. All these architraves and see these door handles are on as well. All of these architraves were really tricky in all the old part of the house. Obviously where we've built stud work, really easy, but in the original house, all of the openings for the doors are going to require a lot of filling around the edges in zones like this, and a lot of caulking. And he's done probably 90% of the skirting as well. Shame I can't show you more of the floor. There's a few gaps here where you can see what the floor will look like, but we put this protection down obviously until the end of the job when we do the big clean. Feels really nice having all of these doors on. Starts to bring a bit of colour to the bungalow. All the skirting's on in here, all my electric screw back. I went for white sockets in everywhere apart from the kitchen and lounge because they're mostly hidden in all these other rooms behind beds and side tables and things. But generally I always do white sockets in those places. My carpenter has prepared to eventually box in this soil pipe, which will be really nice as no one wants to see that. So you can see he's built the frame. Got a little bit more to do down there, then we'll plasterboard that in and just tidy up in here. Flooring's down in here, that's nice because that's been open for months and months and months. And you've got the gas meter, water stopcock and the fuse board all good to go. In the main bathroom I'll show you one of the things I was talking about, so the easy colour reader. So I'll show you at first that I've got two sort of different lighting in here. So I've got what I would call mood lighting if you were in the bath. I think this is a nice light, you wouldn't want it nice and too bright. So it's just these two lights and one in the niche there. And I'll turn those on, keep those on and put the main lights on for just everyday use. Well, I'll show you this. So the EZ colour reader, let me get it out of my pocket. It's this cool little device here. And what it basically does is you download the app, get it from obviously the App Store, and it literally is so easy. All you do is press this button here and then hold it up against something where you want to find the colour of. So this bathroom's given me a bit of a headache and it looks too white for me now. So I'm going to put grey on the walls, but I just couldn't decide which colour to go for. And I think the grey will look really nice because we've got grey here for the sink and we've got grey here for the bath. So what you basically do is you open this flap here, put this to the bath, hold it there, and it basically scans the bath and tells you what that colour is made of. If you went to your local home-based B&Q or any paint shop that actually mixes it for you. So I'll put beside this video now a screen recording of how the app works, but it's just super cool, and I actually have got the results here to show you as well. So I basically scanned the bath and scanned this and then went down to B&Q and they made up two samples for me, and they ended up, you can even sort of say, oh, I like that, but I want it like different shades either way of that. And what they came up with was this. So this is called Lick Paint. And as you can see, if I put it down by the bath, it's a pretty awesome match. How cool is that? And just by using that EZ colour reader, I just thought that was a really cool bit of kit. So yeah, so eventually I'll be painting, once this door's closed, everywhere you see here in that dark grey, and I think it will look especially nice with the four main lights off and then these two lights here either side of the mirror, and in there there's like a really nice colouring, especially as all of these walls are going to stay white, so I think that'll look really nice. Let me just grab this. Front room, you can see the carpenter, his skills here, because on the two bay windows you've got these massive curves, and obviously in the old days they used to bend the wood, which you can do, but it would be a big expense for me to go to a specialist company to bend the wood in that massive degree like that. So you can see all the tiny cuts he's done, but actually what a great job, because look at the gaps. It's hardly anything. Once you feel and rub that down, you'll never know he's had to make, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cuts on that skirting. It's jobs like that that you think are really quick and easy, when actually it's a lot of work. And he's done the architrave as well.
Let's show you outside. So there's no steps anymore. It's a bit deadly, but you just have to carefully come down, and that's where our steps are going to be. So we've removed those today. You can see the edging blocks in the whole drive are now in. This is the hard bit, believe it or not. It's always slow doing that part, and then the middle part goes down really quickly. We'll take you to the front here and I'll show you the drainage we have there, the edging blocks on the right and on the left middle and left hand side we now have a brick wall too, so I'll show you that in a second. There's the brick wall that will be rendered when we render the front of the bungalow, and then we're going to cap it, like I mentioned previously, using the patio slabs that we have left over. This section here will be for planting, as I didn't want to just have a huge concrete driveway. There's a soak away that we had to put in for this section as well, and the edging blocks run all the way down there, and there's that nice big flower bed there, and two very small ones that are also going to be either side of the house as well. And then we're going to have those nice steps going up to the front door of the bungalow, which is what will be finished early next week.
The other cool app I wanted to just tell you about was an app called LoveJunk. So I'll put photos again beside this video. But it's an app where it's almost like eBay for your rubbish. So I, at the moment, don't have room for a skip because the driveway's being completely renovated, but I had that front room where we just were, tons of junk, and I needed to get rid of it. And usually in the old days, what I would do is I would go on Google, type in the local area, and I would email 5 or 10 companies, and then get all the quotes back, and then choose one of them, usually the cheapest one or who can do it the soonest. But LoveJunk, I literally took photos of the rubbish, put my location, and I named my price. So a skip, say if a skip costs you £250, this was way more than a skip's worth, and it was full of lots of annoying things, like 10 pallets, for example. I'd have to spend an hour breaking those up to fit in a skip normally because they take up so much room. But I put the 10 pallets on the listing along with all my rubble and rubbish and cardboard and wood from the carpenter. Put it on there, and I put £175 because it was way more than a normal skip's worth. So I thought I'd try my luck, and literally within a minute someone accepted it. So what can happen if I put £50, obviously no one's going to collect for that. But people might reply to you and say, oh, I can do it, but I want 150, 175 pounds, 200 in a bidding style. But if they actually are happy with the price that you've put, then you simply just click accept, and then they come and collect it all. And what's even better is they pay through the app. So everything's nice and safe and secure, and you don't pay a penny until it's all gone. I really liked it, definitely going to use it again. And actually I spoke to the LoveJunk guys, and if you use the code NMorris22, you'll get £10 off through me. So that's NMorris22, and it's the LoveJunk app. And again, I'll show a description of me using the app next to this video, and you can see the rubbish that got taken away. It's really convenient, really fast, basically cannot fault it. Go and try it out, guys. Back to the walk around. I really wish I moved this sink. So this sink has turned up damaged 3 times. So I think the quality is too poor, as it's obviously got damaged too easily during transit. So I'm now sending it back for a full refund, and won't be using it because they say you buy cheap, you buy twice, but actually it was £300, but it's just obviously poor quality. I'm not happy with it. Skirting again, all these nice thin cuts, lots of work for the carpenter, but it's so nice to see all the skirting on, makes such a huge difference. All my radiators are on now, apart from upstairs and the kitchen, because it just needs a bit more painting. And in the bathroom, again, I've got my little mood lighting, so I always do 2 switches. One for this sort of nicer setting, and then one a bit brighter for everyday use. And again, I actually used the EZ colour reader in here too. I didn't want the exact match this time, but I scanned this unit because I wanted this one little square of wall here to be a different colour, because again, I just think this room's too boring otherwise, just too much white. And I wanted chrome in this area and brass in this area with a different colour. I've seen it on Instagram, it looks really cool. And again, they sent me, I went down to B&Q, used my EZ colour reader, and they sent me loads of samples that match or similar or are close to matching that. And I think I'm going to go with this one, which isn't a direct match, but I wanted a bit of a contrast. and that's from Lick as well. So some really cool technology to help you out these days. Shower screens have obviously got to go on. We're waiting the last minute for those because they're just going to get dirty and they're so easy to install. The whole place is just full of dust. So we want to try and make the cleaning slightly less. 2 more rooms to show you. Well, this isn't a room, but under the stairs. Funny how these nothing rooms can be impressive, but I really like just the skirting running around in here. You can see the actual flooring that runs everywhere. Got all my data cables, and it's a really good space for your coats or your hoovers or whatever. Call it my little Harry Potter storage space. Another bedroom, nothing has changed in here, no skirt. Oh, actually, sorry, tell a lie. I forgot to feature these in the other room. The carpenter's also done the windowsills in all the new parts. So this was the old garage. So this is an extension, so we've got a ball nose windowsill in there. That's nice to see. It actually needs to be painted in. But nothing else has changed in here other than just the doors and the architraves and everything again. Coming up the stairs, I'll show you. I've got some newel caps to go on here. I've just got them up there. Let's grab one quickly. So these newel caps need to go on. And then the plan is to keep the newel cap and the banister in this lovely oak, and then the spindles will be painted with this, because obviously this isn't real proper oak, this bit, and the spindle, so it'll just deteriorate over time. So we think the best thing is just to paint the banister white, paint the spindles and the column white, and then just leave the newel cap and the banister in this nice oak to give it a lot of nice colour, and it also matches the doors. Let's put that newel cap back up here because that will definitely get lost. You see the skirting up close here? Went for a slightly smaller skirting, but I'm really pleased with it. It looks really nice. And then this is the upstairs room. All of this is obviously an extension. 10 metres of space here. My carpet fitter just told me. Have the Juliet balcony to go on, which will be a black railing here. And if I open this, you can see the garden from up high as well. A bit scary opening that without the Juliet balcony at the moment. And then looking back, I've got this nice big space for a bed here. And I've built in these wardrobes especially, as this was sort of a dead zone around here. And you've got a nice big deep wardrobe in there with the flooring from downstairs. Carpenter's got to build a door for here, one of his few jobs he has to do, and we're having a radiator here and a radiator down there by the bed as well. And then this bathroom, plumber's been beavering away. The sink's fitted in the corner. I actually ordered a small sink at first, about 500 mil, and changed it for an 800 mil because it just didn't look right. And although the headroom's rubbish in here, there's no need for the sink to be small. And I really like how this has turned out with the black fittings. And there's lots of room to put stuff on the side and in the drawers. Plumber's put the toilet in position, but it's not actually working yet, it's not live. And the bath has also been fixed, the plumbing's been brought up, but it's not fixed in yet. And obviously we have to silicone all of these freestanding baths and things in, and the black towel out as well. So this is the black and white bathroom. I really like the black trims around the niche and up here. So it'd be interesting to get your thoughts. It's I know from experience it looks like there's still loads to do, but everyone's telling me 2 to 3 weeks. So I've just put the carpets to be fitted in around 2 weeks from next week, so 2.5 weeks. My carpenter's itching to finish, as is my plumber, which is always good, and then the painters are coming in next week. And because most of the bedrooms are white, apart from a feature wall in the kitchen and now the bathrooms, it's sort of easier for them just to go really fast, just doing white. got some really cool stuff on the driveway happening. That'll be the next best thing to show you. That should be finished by Thursday or Friday next week. And then we'll be concentrating on the garden. So we'll be pointing the patio and laying that turf. So that'll be such a nice point. Check out those two things I told you about, the EZ colour reader and LoveJunk. Really recommend both of them. I'm definitely going to use them again. And remember the code NMorris22 on LoveJunk if you want a £10 credit. Thanks to everyone for watching and subscribing and following this journey from start to finish. I don't know if any of you guys know where I can find some sort of video editor who's like really cool, because I really want to do some cool stuff of this journey and not my terrible video editing to show homes under the hammer style before and afters when this is done next month. Anyone is interested, get in touch with me. I'd love to speak to someone about that. Everyone have a lovely week and have a lovely weekend, and I'll speak to you soon. Cheers.